For a writer, the greatest failing is, perhaps, not an unpopular story, but a popular one that has become so for the wrong reasons. I think it my own greatest failing that my most iconic two characters, the Lutwidge twins, have been so incorrectly received by the readers. The tales of their indeed daring and indeed dastardly crimes are exhilarating, of course. But it was not with them that my true intention for the story lies. It's not what they did that matters, but what brought them to do it. We all know the story of the Lutwidge twins, but I think it only right to give a new perspective, my own perspective, for we cannot fully understand one's actions without first appreciating the events that brought them there in the first place. The Lutwidge twins were born to Sir Charles Lutwidge and Lady Alice Dodgson, reputable names in the House of Lords, and so were absent for most of the formative years of their offspring. The twins grew up in privilege, however, raised outside of the normal school environment to be taught by their many imported tutors and governors. But growing up outside of the conditioning typically brought by a mother and father had a drastic effect on the boys' later characters. As with a mirror image and the image that casts it, they were both precisely the same and polar opposites. Lewis Lutwidge was of an anxious demeanour. He had taken to the rules and regulations of his paid guardians with enthusiasm and had grown an affinity for authority and order. It was often suggested that he was an obsessive-compulsive, taking unnatural pleasure in organisation and visual symmetry. Charles Lutwidge was significantly less mannered. His hobbies involved hitting things, stealing things, and above all else, burning things. Yet when there was no rule to break or possession to ignite, Charlie would default to bothering his brother for entertainment. For Lewis proved to be an extremely easy person to bother. He thought it necessary to ensure that every room had at least one line of symmetry before he could become comfortable, meticulously rearranging the objects to suit his strange compulsion. And he did not have much of a sense of humour about it either. Meals were a chore. He would create dishes that lay symmetrical on his plate and then consider carefully how he should tackle it without ruining this picturesque piece before him. A futile practice that would usually end with a tantrum. Charlie simply needed to disrupt one of these obsessively neat portraits that Lewis would create for himself. And Lewis would exhibit some new reaction. These varied, of course, but were always, predictably, melodramatic.